What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Authentic Podcast with yours truly, Van Dennis. And I have a very, very special guest, someone that I watch and admire from afar. I see him every day, just moving, shaking, busy, getting things done, building relationships, and being just an authentic guy. And I'm seeing one of the things I always like to practice and preach about. I'm seeing that someone else do this at a very high level. And I want to introduce you, the one and only, the new king of Miami as well. He might want to say so, but he is looked at like that. All my friends, we all look at him and just inspired. But here we go, Mateo. Man, hey, thank you so much, man.
No, I appreciate you for having me.
I know you're busy even today.
No.
There's so many questions that I just want to ask and kind of get to know you more, because I feel like you're doing something here in this city that's like amazing, and you obviously kick-ass gym like no one ever seen before. Everyone's coming here. They want to be here just off the vibe that you guys made here. Just alone is just amazing. But yeah, man, if you could just kind of tell them about your backstory, how you even got to like this level, like till this day.
Look, bro, for those that don't know where I'm from, like I'm originally from Sydney, Australia, so you can tell from the accent. So bro, like, little backstory, I've been boxing most of my life as an athlete, as a boxer, been in multiple competitions around the world, spent some time with some of the greats in boxing. One of my close friends is Andre Berto, you know, you already know. So, bro, basically it just started from an idea and a vision and a dream. Coming to Miami 3 years ago and being able to just help people on the real fundamentals about boxing. And it shifted from being a fighter to becoming a teacher. And I didn't realize I was actually really good at teaching people. So I implemented it and took that aspect of, you know what, I'm gonna teach people about the real fundamentals about boxing. And as we all know, boxing is one of the biggest sports these days. Everyone wants to box. It's challenging, bro. So started from training a few people to like turning my condo into a boxing studio. And then it eventually became a brand where I associated my name, which was BOXR, which originates from being the name of what people called me back home, because that was my fight name.
That's crazy. Okay.
So came up with that, associated with my face and my brand. And then I needed space. So I went to a gym, which was next door, Elevation Fitness, as we all know. And I took 3,500 square feet space and turned that into the primary boxing gym. Within less than a year, you have this monstrosity. And it all just came down to vision, dream, and faith, and making sure that I was able to execute on something that the people needed in the city of Miami, you know?
Most definitely, man. Thank you for that. There's a big, misconception when it comes to like entrepreneur. You're a true real entrepreneur. God knows how much stuff you went through just to get to this level. But what were some things that kept you, like, that were very important, that kept you like going, kept that drive, that focus, especially in Miami? You know, there's a lot going on here in Miami. Like, how do you keep that focus and drive right now?
Bro, I kept the drive because coming from a background of being an athlete, and as we all know, athletes at a very high level are very disciplined in what they do. So on a daily basis, it comes down to, I want to be the best. I want competition. I need the competition. I need the pressure. It's very important, so it levels you up to be like, damn, you know, I got to keep growing. I got to keep building. So discipline was a big key aspect to where I am today. And inside the business, it came down to the people that I trust, so my team. I built a team. I recruited the specific people to be part of what I'm creating behind the brand. I believe in them, they believe in me. But at the same time, you know, being a leader in my industry, I gotta be accountable for everything that I do. So when I force myself to say, hey, I can't be comfortable on a daily, I gotta also level my people up. I gotta also level my competition up. And when you put that on a daily basis constantly on yourself, and that pressure, it helps you to keep elevating as an entrepreneur, because you gotta keep creating. You can't be sitting still all the time and just be like, yeah, I got a gym. Nah, bro, I don't have a gym. I got a culture. I got a movement. And when you have that mindset, it becomes you start to see it as becoming a reality. When you look through that telescope, you don't just see the outlines, you see it as clear as daylight. So, you know, I always tell my people that there's 3 principles that I abide by. It's my values, it's my ethics, and it's respect. And when you follow those 3 things on a daily basis in your everyday life and also in your business or as an entrepreneur, you don't break those things for nothing. You know what I mean? So that's what I follow, and that's what I abide by.
I'm definitely going to take note of the value, the ethics, and respect. I see the amazing relationships that you have. You have crazy relationships with people that are fans of these people, and these people look at you just as a best friend, and they're a brother. They look like you could call them at any time. How did you build those relationships, and how important is it to keep those relationships nurtured?
So when I had the boxing gym, right, and at Elevation, and that 3,500 square foot facility, it started to attract certain key people. And when they saw what I was doing and they saw the results, you know, football players, basketball players, in the off season, they used boxing as another outlook. So when they came in and I started training them, they started seeing some results, and they're like, damn, I ain't never learned fundamentals like that before. So what I did was I gave them what they wanted, but at the same time, that client I didn't want it to be a client. I didn't look at the money. I looked at the value of the relationship. So I built on that, and I said, you know what? Not about money. I need to build a network system of good people, of good relationships, because they're going to support my brand and my movement of where it really needs to go. I don't need the money like that. I need the relationships to build my name in the city and the brand. And that's how I worked it. But at the same time, I was very wary and picky and choosy on who I bring myself around that share the same sort of mindsets and nourishments. Because not everybody, you know, I say this all the time, you could have all the money in the world, but they're not able to bring value to the table on your side, which means value is of more importance than the money side of things.
Definitely, man. That's a great answer. And I see that, and even for myself, like I admire you, and I probably don't tell you enough. If you see me, I watch from afar. I'm a very observant type person, because I see what real entrepreneurs do that really make it, see how disciplined, and also I see the relationship part. There's also being a good person. It comes back to, like, you know, times fold, you know. But I also want to see exactly how is it when you first came to Miami. Did it like mind fuck you? Like, what did it do, like, in your first presence of coming to Miami to have like that vision?
Coming to Miami is it's an intimidating city. We all know this. It's not easy to crank and win in the city, especially in an industry that I'm in. The fitness industry is so saturated. But the difference that I saw was that, you know, just like in the boxing, and there's fighters all around the world, and everyone's trying to be world champ, or everyone's trying to get a gold medal in the Olympic Games. But there's always a few that are going to stand out from the rest. How can I be different than the rest? How can I be that freak that everyone's going to pay attention to and go, yo, this guy's got something special going on? Bro, I just kept it real and genuine from the very beginning. I keep it real with everyone, and I focused on the people. Businesses forget to focus on the people. They just think about the growth of their business and the money. That shit don't last forever. Your legacy and your brand and your name will last forever if you stick to the plan from the very beginning, which means I'm gonna create a culture where I came from, and that come from all different types of walks of life. I'm not just targeting celebrities. I'm not just targeting the average people. I'm not just targeting millionaires and billionaires. I'm creating a hub, not a gym anymore. So when I saw that I had that opportunity to do that in such a small space, I capitalized on it.
Yep, you did.
And I brought it.
You for sure capitalized on it.
And energy doesn't lie. That's what my business thrives on, you know? So that's what it's based on, bro.
What are some new, like, 'cause I know you probably have such huge goals, and you probably have accomplished 1% of what you're even trying to do. What are some, like, exciting things within these, to wrap up this end of this Q4, the end of this year that you're looking to do?
All right. To end the year off, bro, like, my aim is to hit a certain amount of members. You know, we want to peak and go past 2,000. So not far off. At the same time, my goal is to, bro, part of my mission is to change people's lives, you know, mentally, physically, and also educationally, you know. And this hub here for me is just making sure that I can draw as many people from worldwide, not just Miami. They come to Miami, yo, I gotta go to BOXR. I see BOXR from the plane. That's where I gotta be at. You know, as part of one of my challenges that I wrote down was I have to get the best in every sort of, you know, the best in their fields, whether it be one of my boys, Steve Stout. We all know who he is.
Yeah, dude, he's a legend.
He's a legend.
I look up, we do something similar. He's at a whole other level,
And you know what, like, that relationship I got with him is like that with him. And that, for me, that's a big thing. And then, you know, you got other people in other industries. So by me just being able to have these relationships, and I go back to that, you know, question you asked me, those are my challenges this year. I need to have some of the most powerful relationships on my side.
That's right. I definitely want to hear this story because I'm in the marketing realm. I own a marketing company called InstaBoost, and I've always looked at Steve Stout and the Gary V's. But tell me a story. How did, and as quickly as you can, how did you even meet? How did that relationship happen? How did you meet Steve Stout? Like,
all right. So Steve, I was back at my old facility, at the 3,500 square foot facility, and one of the guys the owner of DBC, Dave, down in the art district, he reached out to me. So he reached out to me on multiple times and was like, hey, I got some guys down here that want to do boxing. And he had a relationship with him. So he said, look, I'm gonna plug you in with Steve Stout. So I'm like, all right, no worries. And it wasn't just him, it was also the owner of Elevation. And he plugged me in, he's like, he loves boxing. So I was like, okay, no worries. So I started texting him, started trying to connect. It took some time because Steve is always very busy. And he came to the gym and we connected. We kicked off on the first training session together. I did mitt work and he was like, yo, I like your training. I like your way of thinking. I like your teaching style. So I was like, let's kick it off. So we kicked it off. And ever since then, we built a relationship from a trainer to a clientele base. And then as I built the relationship over the year, I got him down with Jason now, who's one of my head trainers that I trust in the facility. And now I built a really good relationship as a friendship now with him on the side that, anytime we talk all the time, we communicate. I ask him for business ideas. What do you think about this? What if I invest into this business? He gives me a lot of words of wisdom, and that's the type of relationship I have now with Steve.
That's so important to have someone like that. And we see that we see some other people in here. I'm a fan of Drink Champs. I watch their podcasts all the time. I see Nori in here all the time, and I'm like, do I fanboy him or just be like, hey, just keep it cool? But amazing, but even that with that relationship too, as well, how did you cultivate getting that type of relationship as well for someone that's in the city?
Like I said, it's a network system. Knowing people like Andre Berto. Berto knows Hino. Hino's like this with Nori. They come, they saw me, they go, hey, you the owner of BOXR, bro. We seen what you've been doing. We want to connect with you and see what we can do in here. And when I open the doors to these guys, I show them a lot of love, just because I feel it from them, from the rip. They respect my facility, they respect the gym. They always come here to offer a lot. And not just that, I try to give them more than they just come in to train. I also make them feel as though that they're part of this family and part of this culture. Most other places, people go up, they want to get autographs, signatures and stuff. In here, they feel as though that they're not getting bothered. It's just because of the type of people that I attract in here. Getting to know Nori and the whole crew with Drink Champs and stuff, it's a blessing, bro. They come here on a daily. Nori even was like, yo, I'm paying a membership, bro. I want to pay so I know that I'm coming here with a QR code and I can come into the gym. I got my membership. So shout out to them. All these people that I have in here are just a blessing. So.
One question I asked one of my boys that comes here. We're young entrepreneurs, so we're always wondering, dang, how much it cost to do this? How much to start? What's this business cost? How much did it even cost to even put this all together? To whether buying the property and obviously the full investment. What was that looking like? It could be an estimate, it doesn't mean exact, but.
What do you think is worth? You've been here long enough.
I'm thinking it had to be around 2 point something to 15 around there. That's my room.
All right.
Because you could do a lot. It's a big space.
All right. So, as being, I'm very frugal with how I do things, but at the same time, back to network, I utilize certain brands to be able to be part of what I'm building, which is a big upside to it. And I like to always make sure that, once you're doing your strategic numbers and you're doing the breakdowns, you want to always make sure that you always got room to play with at the end, just in case if anything hits. Because gyms are hard when they kickstart. You know what I mean? In the gym industry,
it could take a year sometimes.
Take a year. Yeah. Within the first month, I was cash positive. So I cranked it. Within 5 months, bro, the business is thriving.
Damn.
So
congrats. Huge congrats.
Under $1 million to do this whole gym. You know what I mean? And to some people, it's like, how did you do? Be frugal with your money, do your homework, do your background check on everything that you're doing. Make sure you find necessary sources that are going to be able to have great value to the business. So if I'm getting some of these brands like ProLast or, Real Leader with the gym equipment and stuff, and I'm doing deals with these people and telling them, look, you're going to get exposure. You're going to be part of the growth of what I'm building. That's value. So you look at the value, look at the money, and you create and you start negotiating and say, hey, look at the long run, look at the long term. Don't think about right now. And that's what I did as part of building the business from ground zero up.
Definitely. It was definitely well take that note myself and use that in some different ways. One thing, of course, one thing that catches everyone's eye when they first walk in here is seeing that Lambo right there. Whose idea was that?
All right.
Because everyone can't stop.
From a marketing perspective, like yourself.
Yeah.
All right. So, don't get me wrong. Everyone loves cars. But when you're too drenched and focused in the business, this is nothing. Like, I don't even really care about it that much. But it is attention to detail. So everything that you look up in this gym, you look at every corner, you're like, damn, look at that, look at that, look at that. But the Lambo on a first aspect is like, I wish I could have one of those to an average person. I wish I could go into like a showroom where there's Lambos. And most people won't because they either can't afford it.
They're not validated for it,
They're not validated for it, or they're scared. But it's really possible to get one. It's just a matter of, you know what? I'm going to come in here, I'm going to grind hard, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do whatever it takes to be able to achieve this. Then when you look at the vehicle, you go, look at the detail in this car, how it was built, how it was constructed. That's how I view my business. So that's not going to leave people's minds. Doesn't matter where you come from around the world, you're going to go, do you remember that gym with the marble floors and the Lamborghini SVJ sitting in there that's worth 1.2 million? Of course not. Marketing tool.
Brilliant.
So as far as a marketing tool on an entrepreneurial side, as a business owner, that there attracts people's attention immediately. And they go, this man is business. This man's serious. I want to be around this.
Yeah.
So
100%.
that's the answer to the question.
I know we got to wrap up here soon.
Nah, you good, bro.
What's something that you would want to in anything? Because everything, you kind of have everything organized. You know your focus. You know where you're going to. But take yourself 10 years back. Is there anything that you wish you would have done 10 years ago that would have started sooner, or you kind of like the way that paved out?
You know what, bro? Everything up till today is just a blessing in disguise. I wouldn't change anything. Hopefully one time on another podcast, bro, I'll be able to share more of the story and the ups and downs that I went through, because my story is pretty crazy. Like, I went on a roller coaster ride. I lost everything. I came out here with $1,500 in my pocket, and now I have, an evaluated $10 million business right now that's just thriving. So in the end of the day, I wouldn't change nothing. I would just say I'm very blessed, and I thank God every day for what I have and for the people that are here and supporting it, just like yourself, and that are part of this journey. You know what I mean? I wouldn't change not one thing.
Well, definitely, man. I just want to once again, man, I admire you. It's amazing seeing someone that I call it true entrepreneurs, people that put their money where their mouth is, even if they have to cut back on expenses to get ahead, to do whatever it takes to be successful. I see that in you, and it's something good for a good aura, and I'm glad I'm able to have you in my network, and I'll be able to call you and stuff like that. So once again, thank you so much, brother. Thank you for your time, man.
They gon' remember my name. They gon' remember me. They gon' remember my name.